We welcome you back to Longhorn Weekly. I'm Craig Way. Normally, we have head coach Shaka Smart with us. Shaka, as you know, and we've talked about working his way through the COVID protocols and in isolation and feeling better, as KT Turner told us earlier, and so that's good to hear. Please be joined during this portion of the program a guy who's not a stranger to this program. He's been on it before, albeit in a different role. Cody Hatt, who had been certainly the operations director for Shaka's program in the past, now on the coaching staff as an assistant coach as well. It's great to see you again, Cody. I wanted to get your thoughts because as close as you've been to this program since you arrived with Coach Smart, how impressed you were with the resiliency, and I know this is a word that the coaches are having to work with as well, adaptability of what you had to work with in the run-up leading to the Oklahoma game and then the Oklahoma game itself, to see the way the guys responded on the floor on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us are really proud of the effort that we displayed, especially in that second half, to fight back and give ourselves a chance to win the game. Our message to our team, from Coach Smart was next man up going into the game. So it was a pretty straightforward message of just needing to kind of rally the troops that we did have available and stay connected with each other, and put forth an effort that really represented not only the guys that could play, but also the guys that wanted to be there but couldn't. But I think at the same time, for as impressive as it may have been to other people outside the program, the way we fought, that's the expectation around here. So, the season that we've had, the games we've been able to fight and win, the same type of effort and connectedness was required in those games. So it was nothing new. And we told the guys after the game, there's no excuses around here, and Oklahoma won the game. They made one more play. So, we were proud of the effort, but we've been proud of that type of effort all year, and that's the way we've practiced, and that's the way that we built our program to this point.
Cody, would you say also from a basketball perspective, from a coach's perspective, that is a shining example of how important it is for your guys to grind hard in practice when you have the full complement of guys there, because of things like what Matt said after the game, that his conditioning wasn't where it wanted to be, and that might have led to some of the fouls. All of those little things that are connected lead to winning, stuff that might be on a Thursday afternoon practice that might not otherwise register in a young man's head, that this is all going into what ultimately brings about winning.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that those are habits that we've built since being back here in July with our team. And our guys have really embraced and bought in, with an older group, and understanding that the way you practice, the way you train every single day, in an empty gym by yourselves in a tough practice, it's the same way that you're going to play. And you're not going to be able to be a different person, a different competitor, a different player, just by flipping a switch on game night than you are every day in practice. So I think you did see indicative in that game in the first 5 minutes of each half. I think you saw us come out and really have some pop to us, but then you did see us kind of wear down in spots of the game that did lead to some of those, whether it be fouls or turnovers or our shot selection at different times. I think was indicative of guys just playing through fatigue. But again, we were proud of the way we fought, but we have another challenge on our hands. As we get back whole, headed into Saturday to use these next 2 days of practice to really prepare and to kind of get back that momentum or that rhythm that we had prior to being disrupted.
Did you also get a sense coming out of that game that your guys were eager to get back, hopefully, as you said, to get back whole or as close to it as you can be going into the Kentucky game, that they understand that the effort and all of those things were there, but there's a couple other things that can happen that turns a 1-point loss into a win as you get ready for Kentucky?
Yeah, I think they understand that for sure. And hopefully we've, built the humility, to reflect back on winning and losing the same way, that we got to see some things on tape and get better and grow and keep working. We're nowhere near a finished product as like any other team in the country, both as individual players and then as a group. We need to continue to keep getting better. Watching a lot of press conferences around the country of coaches, each coach has a commonality in terms of saying that their teams that reach a certain level at the end of the year that we're building towards have a way of continuing to get better. Obviously, that's even more challenging in a time where you're literally practicing without your head coach, without your leader, without the guy that sets a tone every single day for that culture that we built here, and then without the players that have also built a certain identity that we have. But again, it's no excuses, and our guys are hoopers, they're players. So this game of basketball for all of us has been a thing that's brought us together and bonded us. So I think getting guys back in the gym, they're happy to be back, but then it quickly turns into work and focus towards the next challenge, which is getting ready to play the next game.
All right, we'll be back to wrap it up with Cody Hatt here. Want to remind Longhorn fans to make sure you have your notifications turned on in your Texas Longhorns app so you'll receive your 5 free wings coupon from Pluckers with the Horns when at home. We'll be back to wrap it up when Longhorn Weekly continues in a moment. Back on Longhorn Weekly, Cody Hatt, Longhorns assistant, our special guest during this portion of the program. Hey, Cody, I wanted to ask you a question. You've been able to be a jack of all trades and excel in a variety of roles. But at your core, I always got the sense that you were really a coach at heart. How gratifying and satisfying is it to you to be an active assistant coach on Shaka's staff, even though you've been willing to serve in whatever capacity you were needed in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been great to be back on the floor with guys, and I've really enjoyed the chance to be out there with them, helping them to improve as players. I think development for us, really, really relates to relationships, which is a huge, obviously, emphasis for us in our program. And the chance to be able to build relationships with guys and to help them develop their games has been great. I think for me, I grew up around the game. I'm the son of a coach, so I've been in gyms my whole life, and I've been obviously serving in a lot of different capacities for Coach Smart since working for him as a graduate assistant. So it's always been really simple for me, which is to try to do whatever he asked me to do as best I can. And now it's evolved to the point of being on the floor, which has been great.
You brought up relationships. How unique do those relationships come in an environment like what we're doing right now on Zoom when it comes to the recruiting side of things?
Yeah, I think being adaptable, you use your phone a lot in recruiting anyway. So the main difference is obviously not having a chance to go out and see players in person, which is a huge component of evaluating and meet with people and look people face to face. So we have the unique dynamic now of having kids and families committed to us and sign with us that we've never met. So I think it's going to be a unique thing maybe on the back end of this to finally be able to spend some time and sit down and get to know those people and those families in person. But I think the work doesn't change. I mean, your constant recruiting is an all the time thing. You're constantly, I was literally just before coming on the show watching some film that a coach had sent me of a kid that we're down the road with, just trying to get a sense for who he is as a player in a recent scrimmage. It's an all the time.
Cody, I appreciate you taking the time. Hey, best of luck on Saturday night against Kentucky. We look forward to seeing you again real soon.
All right, good.
All right, that's Longhorns assistant coach Cody Hatt. 7 o'clock tip-off from Rupp Arena in Lexington, 6:30 airtime, Texas and Kentucky. And we'll see you next week right here on Longhorn Weekly.